Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. Our last guest is an Emmy nominated producer, storyteller, and creative with over 2 decades of scripted and unscripted development for production companies and labs. And she's a co founder for the Ida B. Wells Fund. And she joins us today to speak about the impact that the fund can have on uplifting the voices and visions of Black creatives. Please welcome to the show Angela Harmon. Angela.
Hello, great to be here. Nice to see you, Dr. Lee.
Remember that? You heard this from somewhere, some movie. Hey, Angela.
I would say that's Rocky.
Oh, okay, you win. You win $50 million in the trip around the world for fun.
What I want.
Angela, tell us about the great things that you're doing in our community.
Yeah, so I am the co-founder of Chromatic Black,
Uh-huh.
and Chromatic Black is a collective of artist activists across creative disciplines.
Hmm.
And really, our mission is simple. We want to disrupt the master narrative with good storytelling. And uh, we are really interested in building these relationships between communities and artists and finding ways that we can solve problems by using the creative tools that we have at our fingertips.
Got
And so we are great uh, representations of the community. We listen to them all the time and we create works that kind of represent their voices.
Yeah. Tell us more about Chromatic Black. Where did it come
Yeah,
from? What's it all about?
so Chromatic Black, again, is a collective of artist activists with a
Uh,
simple mission of disrupting the master narrative through good storytelling. We're narrative strategists, so what that means is we use, again, stories and arts and pictures and words and to reimagine and to re-architect the world that we want to see.
yeah.
We believe in transformative justice, and we feel like our artists across this country are the ones that are the real heroes and the ones that actually can say the things that we can't say through using their artistic tool.
Touch that a little bit. Transformative justice.
Yeah, so when we say transformative justice, we really mean like how do we change the world and to make it the place that we want it to be.
Yeah.
So as we all know, sometimes this world isn't as kind or fair to people of color. And so we are always looking for ways that we can amplify the voices of the marginalized, again, through using arts, through using the stories of our folks, and using the wisdom and the vision of, again, these creatives that we call artists.
Yeah. Ida B. Wells. She was a women's suffrage uh, leader in that movement and also against slavery, anti slavery. Um, and you have something called the Ida B. Wells Fund. What's the vision for it and what's it all about?
Yeah, so the vision for the Ida B. Wells Fund is really simple. We wanted to address some of the pain points of the film industry, meaning that folks didn't have an opportunity, that whether it be for the resources or the amplification or distribution of their stories. And we thought about who best could represent sort of amplifying our stories. And we thought of Ida B. Wells. She certainly was the person that brought so many issues to light, but certainly the anti-lynching campaign, which then led to the NAACP and so many other great things. And so
Yeah.
through this fund, the Ida B. Wells Fund, our mission is really simple. We are committed to artists,
Hmm.
to artists that are interested in taking risk and being experimental, and we want to highlight their voices. So we allow 5 people to win $15,000 to make a short film that speaks
Ah.
to disrupting the master narrative.
5 people can win.
5 people can win $15,000
Oh, I thought
to
you
make a
said
short film.
$50,000.
$15,000. We're not that big yet, but you come. We'll be back next year. Maybe we'll be at 50,000. But right now we're at $15,000. And again, what
uh,
we love about the fund is, you know, uh, it's not often that filmmakers get an opportunity to have sort of, I'm going to say, almost no an opportunity to, again, to experiment and to play and to explore ideas, sort of without the ties and the burdens that sometimes come along with some of the more traditional routes of film funding. And so, $15,000 is in our world a lot of money. But I know we know in filmmaking sometimes that's
It gets
just
absorbed
enough,
quickly. Yeah,
just enough to get a good idea. And so we're really
yeah,
looking for filmmakers that can take that and make miracles and make tell a really good story.
yeah. So you said you're not that big yet. You are because you're Emmy nominated producer. That means you've gotten your feet wet and people looking at you in a
Yes.
certain way.
Yeah. So, I wanted to always give a shout out to the Bronx. I'm a native Bronxite, third generation. Yeah, and I grew up in this borough at the time where hip hop was being born and being
Uh oh.
birthed.
Uh oh.
It was also, yeah. So it was also a time, of economic strife, and the borough was really struggling,
The
and
Bronx is burning.
um yeah, and what I think I learned in terms of my creative voice is just, how do we again kind of use the struggles in the streets? How do we kind of use the struggles that we see around us and really kind of how do we tell those stories and amplify that in the most beautiful creative ways that we can?
Yeah.
And so I've been on this journey of storytelling since I was about 5 years old.
Ah.
Yeah, I was telling stories to my family and putting on shows. And
Uh,
so it was a natural sort of, fit when I got to college. I started off at Penn State, but graduated from the City University of New York.
there you go.
And yeah, and so, got the opportunity to take advantage of all that the city had to offer. So from Spike Lee, I worked for him for a bit, and Jonathan Demme, and really sort of found my way in this beautiful space of independent storytelling.
Yeah. I was at
And
Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing.
oh, that's right, you were. I remember that. Oh my God, he was such an inspiration for me because I went to Brooklyn Technical High School,
Yeah.
so it was right across the street from him, and got to see the making of some of his films, like Do
Yeah.
the Right Thing. So
Tell
yeah,
us, what are some of the requirements for applying for the grant for the black filmmakers?
yeah. So again, we're looking for dope storytellers. I mean, that's the number one thing. But
Yeah.
really, what you need to be is just over 21 years old. You need to be a working artist with at least 2 years of professional experience. And you need to be a citizen or a permanent resident or a O1 visa holder. And other than that, there isn't anything else but having a really, really strong voice and creative vision, and be ready to like roll
Yeah.
those sleeves up and tell a good story. Yes, exactly.
What's the
Roll them up.
deadline? What's the deadline?
So the deadline is October 28th
Uh-huh.
for the Film Fund. October 28th is the deadline, and the winners will be announced on November 21st. And you can find us at idabwellsfund.com. Again, that's idabwells.com, idabwellsfund.com, where again you'll find all of our requirements, which we kind of just talked about. And again, you'll get a little sense of some of the winners that we had from last year.
Yeah.
We're really proud of those winners as well.
And 15 grand in your hand for the man or woman.
15 grand in the hand for those winners. And really, we are always trying to find ways to
Uh,
amplify artists. And so there's sometimes surprises, there's a $15,000 big prize, but for interesting and dope filmmakers, we find other ways to support them. So the fund is the fund, but Chromatic Black is bigger than just this fund, and
see,
we're
she's from
always
the
looking for
Bronx and she came
partners.
from the hip hop era. She said, we're looking for the dope writers and filmmakers.
Yes, 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 yes. I
And-
think most of our viewers will understand the word dope, which
yeah,
means
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, exactly. Angela Harmon, thank you so much. Co-founder Ida B. Wells Fund. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bob Lee. Thank
All
you, thank
right.
you, thank you.
Glad to have
All
you
right.
on. That's about it. Oh no, time to go. It's funny how time flies when people are having fun. Want to thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't thank you enough. We have an attitude of gratitude. I want to thank our hosts, Kibin Arlene and Darren Jaime and Rena Valentine and the whole crew up in the room up in there with the Wizard of Oz room. Don't listen to the man behind the curtain. But we appreciate you and we thank you for all that you guys do. Our BronxNet crew. We'll see you next time. Always remember this: what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice. Let the choice control the chooser. And I'll see you over 107.5 WVLS. Catch you another day, another way. I love you all. Peace.